I'm Liz Findlay, and welcome to this podcast series on inspiring spiritual entrepreneurs. We'll be chatting with some of the wonderful business owners who come to Starseed Business Networking. This is a free monthly meeting I co-host on Zoom with Steve Nobel, and you can find details of the next meeting on the events page of my website, lizfindlay.com. Today, we had the pleasure of chatting with Jenny Tollinton from PosiTone. Jenny offers spiritual coaching, energy healing, and card readings with the aim of supporting those falling through the gaps or finding themselves outside of mental health services. So, Jenny, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for asking me.
So, tell us how you started your business. What led you to creating this?
Okay, what led me to starting my business was wanting to help other people, understand that there are ways and different ways of healing. Because back in 1995, I was diagnosed with a repetitive strain injury from computer use. It was actually called bilateral tenosynovitis, and it affected my upper limbs. I couldn't even hold a piece of paper at one point. I had that for 13 years.
Wow.
During that, yeah, a long time. It took me a long time to recognize where I needed to go within my own healing, because I was just thinking on the physical initially, until a dear friend told me about Louise Hay and Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life.
Yes, I know that.
Great one. I've actually had about 8 copies, I think. I keep passing them on to people. When I got this from my friend, I remember reading it and thinking, oh yeah, and didn't realize until that point that you had to look holistically. I think my soul knew, my soul's always known, but my physical human being didn't realize that this is what you had to look at: the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and everything. So, and Louise was the inspiration for me to write my own book in 2004. And I wrote from hand to mouth using voice activated software. So that was something else I had to learn. And that was interesting because I was right at the forefront of that coming out, I think. And it hates the Bradford accent. It couldn't understand but. And we used to have many a laugh about that. So after writing from hand to mouth, I actually sent a copy to Louise Hay and received a beautiful letter back, which I treasure. That's really, really lovely. And during the process, we knew that I used to be part of an RSI support group as well, actually. And we knew that there were 2 different routes that people were being sent down. And the one that I was being sent down was, I really needed to be on the other route. Okay. So eventually, after 5 years in 2000, I was starting to get the correct treatment. Up until that time, I'd been flaying about, trying to find things out for myself, do what I could. So eventually, and then I started to use all the holistic treatments, acupuncture, Reiki, Sikkim, all these kind of things. And eventually healed myself. And not only that, I trained in Reiki, Sikkim, theta healing, ear candling. I also now do, because it's just channeled through over the years, light language and sound healing.
Oh, wonderful.
So, but in 2008, I then revamped my book and called it Tino Hands to Healing Hands, because I've been told from it. I had what was it that I had? Not a card reading. It was an aura reading, an aura photograph, an aura reading. And it had said about using my hands for healing. And I'm thinking, how on earth can I use my hands to heal people when I can't even use them properly myself. It was like, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, as I'd gone through Louise's process, I realised, and this was a big part actually, I realised that how could I tell myself on the one hand that I'm disabled, 20% disabled for life, and on the other hand, tell myself I'm well? I realised that didn't equate. So I had to stop telling myself that I was disabled, start telling myself I am well, and starting to use all the positives and all that side of everything. And I wrote the first book just if it would help one person. And I know it actually helped a lot of people. So I know that the second book has then helped a lot of people as well. So that was like my inspiration. I didn't really think that I was a writer then, but now I realise that I seem to be going down that road at the moment. So I started sort of unofficially, if you like, not unofficially, but I started helping people around 2007, 2008, and helped inspire them, help them to be better in themselves and find the way for them. And it's all unique, it's all original, and it's all bespoke, because no two people are the same. Although we're all one and all part of the unity consciousness, we are all unique in our own rights. And we can all heal. We can all heal whatever it is that we came here to heal. So another inspiration from Louise was, I suddenly thought in 2013, I'd like to do some cards like she does, the affirmation cards and everything. So I just started to getting words coming through. And they took about 5 years to come into fruition. And they're called the Soul Star cards, and they're called Faith, Trust and Believe. And the artwork in them is absolutely beautiful. The artwork is my husband's, and his art had come through a spiritually transformative experience, because we'd been drawn to do a Reiki session for him that was really short. I think it was like 5 minutes. I think I was sort of shown to just put this crystal in his hand, and then I had to go and leave him, and I left him like in a fetal position. And the following morning, his eyes were just so bright. And from then on, after 40 years in sales, he just had all this digital art came flooding through.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Absolutely incredible. So the artwork is in the card. That's really lovely. And then from there, we've had, like everybody, you have your challenging experiences, you have your dark nights of the souls. I've had plenty, not just the one. many a thing to go through. And each time, yes, I've gone down. I've been in depression. I've been in the black hole depression. I was in that for many a year. Before I even got the Tino, I was in that. And then, of course, I stayed in a sort of depression whilst I had the tenosynovitis, because it was like at that time I wasn't able to see a way out. So I don't think there's barely anything that I haven't either experienced or my loved ones haven't experienced. So I've been sort of led down the health and education route. I know that I'm a qualified swimming teacher as well. I've been qualified for 30 odd years, and that I love, because I love to see. I just love to see people grow. I love to see them shine. You know, when they first take that first not step, is it, that first stroke, and they're away, and it's like, it's just magic. It's magic. Healing's magic. The whole thing is just absolutely magic. And during the last few years, we've had a lot of challenging times, myself and my husband, and I was always going to write our story. And I kept getting overwhelmed with it, get it out. No, can't do it. Too much. And I'm like, yes, you can, Jenny, because in Louise, I can do it. And it just kept getting shelved. And then divine synchronicity and timing and things like that, everything would always fall into place. There would always be something good. I mean, during the not so good times where we ended up like in debt and homeless and everything, I was actually given a flat within 24 hours. And I remember somebody saying to me, how on earth have you managed that? That's unheard of. And it was an MP, and they said, that's unheard of. And I said, well, probably because it's my own karma, because after I healed from a disability, I gave my DLA back because I was no longer disabled for life, so I didn't need it anymore, so I'd given it back. And that's unheard of. People don't do that.
Yeah, very true.
So I have lots of things like that. And then, so I started, at some point, started to come out last year, channeling through, like the light language channels through, like everything channels through. And I went to get my book out. I got total overwhelmed and shredded the lot.
That's bold.
People go, what? And I'll go, yeah. The next morning, light bulb moment, bingo, pop my husband's artworks to the poems, and that's our story. And that was the universe leading me into doing it in a way that was more creative, more kind, more calm, just a better way of doing it. It was just far too much to try and do it the other way. And also that I could then do it myself. So then out came Love Unconditional. And this is a short journey in time through the eyes of mental health. And it's very tame in its true depth.
And it's filled with your husband's artwork.
It is. I mean, half of the artworks are what he'd already produced, like Chaos, which says it all. And then some of the new poems that came through, we couldn't fit any of his artwork to. And he said, it's okay, I'll do a new piece. So half of the artworks in the book are new pieces as well. So that's beautiful. So, and the book was I wanted to put it out on World Mental Health Day, which is the 10th of October. So that happened last year, 2021. And it's why I'm here. It's to share and help people understand that there are ways through. You know, we can heal. Like Louise Hay says, you can heal your life. You can. And it's up to you what aspect you want to heal, how far you want to go with it. But you can heal, and you can be happy, and you can be healthy, and you can be well. And I'll just finish with something that I've started to do, which I haven't told you about, which I live by the Northeast Sea. And back in April, I started to do an early morning sea dip swim at 6:30 in the morning. And I now go 3 mornings a week, and it's absolutely awesome. I was there this morning.
Oh, we live by the sea, but we're not brave enough for that. I was in the middle of winter. I was in snow boots and a coat that resembled a sleeping bag. And I saw my neighbors crossing the road in just dressing gowns. So you're incredible. Well done.
Thank you. It's really enlightening. It's enlivening. It's really, really lovely.
So Jenny, can you share with us one tip that has really helped your business that can inspire the listeners?
I think it's being honest and integral, sharing your stories, sharing your experiences, because from that people can understand. When people listen to true stories, they can understand more about, you know, where people are, where you are at. And I just want to help, you know, I just want to help people. So that, you know, that's why I wanted to. That's all I want to do. I just want to be here to help people. And in doing that, I end up helping myself as well, because I always learn something. Always. I'm always learning and forever evolving. Always. So it's just be your authentic self. Just be honest and truthful and share your stories.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So for those of you who'd like to connect with Jenny, you can visit her website, and it's positone.co.uk. And PosiTone is short for positive toning. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Jenny.
Thank you, Liz. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.